Good evening from Area 51 Raceway and greetings. And today got delivered the TrackMate system, which has the bridge for the Carrera track. So I'm going to do a tutorial on this because I'm reading up on it from what Harry sent me, because he has articles in the home racing world on how to connect this. He has one for his 4-lane track, since he has dedicated spacing, so that one's custom bridge they made for that one. And then he has the one that is the one that comes in a kit for this particular car, for this particular track, not car. So what we have here is the TrackMate bridge, and there's two IR sensors up here. So what they have to do is cross this lower sensor, and they have to be aligned because they break a beam, and that's what gives you the track timing. So for this modification on my track, I'm going to have to make some small holes in there, but I do not want this to protrude out. I just want it to be enough to where it's just, right at the same, how would you say, want it to be even with the surface of the bottom here that I need to make a hole in. So I'm going to attempt to make a small hole and somehow hold it in there, either with, I don't know, I would say some tubing, as I know he had told me tubing will work, or there's a particular copper brass copper size that this will fit into too. But I need to figure out what I'm going to do, so I'm going to go ahead and start this project and share it with you guys that have Carrera tracks if you want to put the TrackMate system. Right now I got a section of the track out, and this is the section I'm going to replace it with, because the other section there had a driver's station that has that the spot to plug it in. So I moved that out of the way, and this is the piece that's being in place there, and it's just before basically before the control unit is where I'm going to put it at. So we'll continue on here, and I'll tell you my progress, and we'll see what we do after this and put another video out for you. Stay tuned. Hey, welcome back. So we're doing a retrofit for our TrackMate system. So we have the bridge, which has two IR sensors on the top, and they need to align with these two bottom sensors that need to be in your track. Now, on the case for the Carrera, I'm doing them in between the rails, because that's where the light is directly over this, is in between the rails. And what you want to do is make a hole to fit these tubes that go in. And what I may do for this instance, I may just not make them any bigger, but I don't know at this point. I'm experimenting. I may just glue them on like that. And then what you're going to do is the sensor is going to protrude through this, and we just want it to be just like that, flush, because I want this flush with this piece here, because if you have anything sticking up through the slot, what you're going to have is you could have an interference, and you could be banging the sensor if you have it sticking up. If you could see that, and that's ridiculous obviously, but if you have a little bit sticking up, and since sometimes with me I have different cars that have the guides that ride sometimes on the bottom of this, because I have the Slotting Plus guides, I want it to go over the sensor. I don't want it to be bumping it and causing interference with the car if it goes over and then bang the sensor around. So what I may do is just glue this on here with some epoxy, make sure it's lined up, and just glue it in place and let it sit for 15 minutes, and then put my sensor through and look at it on the other side to where it'll just, I just want it just like that. And then what I'll do is I'll hot glue it right here, or maybe even UV glue. Probably hot glue would be the best. That's the best one to, what I always recommend was to use hot glue here, and then hold it on in place. And this will be right here underneath it. And then I'll drill holes in my platform for this section and this section, so we could run the sensor wires up like so with the two little brass pieces. Now the size I'm using for this tubing right here from K&S is 8129, and that's 3/16. That's what this size is, and that's probably your best bet to use. So again, what I may do is I'll just glue it on the surface here, epoxy it, because I don't want to make a bigger hole, because that'll open this up a little bit too much, and I don't want to make it, I probably could, but I'll have to kind of decide on my own what I really want to do, because I'd rather be it below the surface of this instead of trying to stick it through. So I'll just glue it and go with that. So we'll see how that works out. So see you in a bit. So here we're back, and what I have done here is all I done is set my tubes and line them up, make sure they look good through, all the way through. Kind of got a drill bit and kind of made sure the hole was aligned, and I got some UV glue to hold it in place. And I only used a little bit of UV glue just to hold the tube in place. And then I mix my epoxy, and I put epoxy around the brass tube and around the part where, the hole is on the track. Obviously, the brass tube and the track, adhere it together. And I'm gonna let this sit for an hour, and then from there we'll go and put our wires on and use the hot glue, and then we'll put it on the track. I gotta go and drill holes in the platform to get everything to make the holes for wires and everything. All right, so we'll be back soon. Hey, welcome back. So we've got our bridge installed. We got our sensors installed. I'm going to turn on the light here. So there are the sensors, if you could see them. It's kind of tough, but they're in there and they're lined up with this tower here, or this bridge. I'll need to raise this bridge a little, and I'm going to get some wood blocks and raise it, because if I have bigger cars, I need them to go underneath the bridge in order to not hit it. And the Ghostbusters car is too tall, so I want to be able to use that car during Halloween events. And so I'm gonna fix that. Now underneath here, as you can see, I use the small little tubes there to put the IR sensors, and the IR sensors are just underneath that rail there, and then it's going to the PC here, the little PC, and then going to, or the board, and then going to my computer. And I'm gonna have to organize these wires here a little. It's just all over the place, but that's pretty much the setup. And practice there, and running my my P68, and there you go. It does a little beep. P68 goes pretty good. Best lap time was 4.7 for this thing, so, but it's functioning. And see, I got my names up there, and Alf the Alien, George, and then I have my grandson, which I got to add up there. But great little system. Just got to raise up that bridge. Oh, just came off there. And again, a really good a good track system, in my opinion, a little timing system. I mean, the software is really cool. It's simplified. I've had more complicated software stuff for this control unit, and I rarely used it because it's just something that it was just too many bells and whistles. It was cool at first, but I have no need for the program. So this TrackMate is something simple. I highly recommend it for your Carrera track. If you just, if you do have a switch box and want to do analog stuff, this is a really good system. The software is excellent. And again, setting this up wasn't difficult. Even lining up the sensors, it was really no big deal. I just put the bridge over it where I thought it would line up, and they worked. So, but nothing to it. You see it's working. Ooh, 4.6. Best time, 4.5. Wow, not bad for a little NSR tuning for Carrera track. Pretty good. So now I get to really do some real time comparisons now when I do tuning, so we could find out what's the fastest thing on my track now with a more accurate and reliable timing system. In my opinion, it's the software that really does a good job. So there you go, 4.4. Man, that thing cooks. All right, well, so that's it from Area 51 Raceway. It's just a quick video, just on showing how to set that up. When you do download the software, you have to go to the TrackMate website, and you just buy it. You're not buying it, but you're adding it to the cart like you're buying it. It's free. And then what they'll do, they'll email you the file for the computer, and then you load that program first, and then connect the USB, and then everything, it'll identify the COM. If it doesn't, just go to the it'll come up on the menu, and it'll tell you auto detect COM, and once you click that, it'll also connect it if you run into any problems. But that's it from Area 51 Raceway. As always, have fun racing.